Continuing our series on the VOCA Rally 2024 at Queensland in Queensland, we've just caught up with Alan Morris, a New South Wales participant and a man that's full of knowledge about Velocettes. Now, Alan, how long have you been coming to these rallies?
I've been to every one except two.
That's a pretty good record because I think Jim Day's the only person that's been to every one. Now, New South Wales, which part of New South Wales? Lovely North Coast, or do you live in some other part?
An area called Port Stephens, which is just north of Newcastle.
Yeah, that's a pretty good area. Now, have you been riding Velocettes all your life, or was it a later attraction, or did you have... Tell us a little bit about your early motorcycling days, Alan.
Well, my father rode motorcycles. He had a KSS Velocette.
Right.
But when I came along, I think he had a BSA sloper, 600 sloper.
We'll let him go with that.
Yeah. I bought my first Velo in about 1975. I bought a Dodkin Truxton that a friend in the motorcycle club who I belonged to owned. I spent 2 years convincing him he should sell it to me. And I've had it ever since. I've done somewhere around about 90,000 kilometres on it.
Pretty much trouble-free?
Not entirely, no.
Yeah.
We've had a couple of blow-ups, self-inflicted I might add.
Yeah.
One shouldn't ever take it past valve bounce.
Right. So this particular Truxton, what attracted you to a Truxton? I always consider them the pinnacle of Velocettes, but what attracted you to want to buy this for a couple of years?
I like you thought that they were the... Well, if I could afford a KTT and you could register it, I would have had one of them. But the Truxton just said motorcycle to me, and I've never regretted it. And it was there, and
and the mate you bought it off, did he buy it new, or?
It was a friend of his had it, bought it in England. He went to buy a new Truxton, and the factory was just about kaput.
Yeah.
And Jeff Dodkin built him one up.
All right, a Dodkin. So that's even more special.
But, the bike has got a Dodkin engine number in it. The gearbox has got no number on it, so obviously built out of
Parts.
stock.
Yeah.
And the frame was a 1974 frame.
So you got a black frame or a navy blue frame?
No, it was a black frame. It came off a Venom, I believe.
Right.
The New South Wales Registration Authorities register your bike age on the frame number, so it's registered as a 74, which was nearly a year before the Truxtons were available. But it was probably put together in 1970.
Yeah.
Do you know what colour it originally came in? Or?
It was originally black and gold.
And this day is?
It's still black
and gold.
It's been resprayed once because a gentleman ran into the back of me once and it had to be rebuilt.
Rear sets or standard pegs?
It's got the full rear sets.
Yeah.
It's got a concentric carburettor, not a GP.
Yeah. That was changed by you, or it was already?
No, that's the way it came from. 36mm concentric.
Yeah.
I believe the carburetors were made in Spain. It's a magneto ignition. It was never coil. And
now I guess if you've been to so many rallies, I guess the Truxton's been pretty well around Australia, has it?
Yeah, it's been across to Perth. It's went on the trailer across there. I'm not tough enough to ride that distance on a Truxton. I also had a Velocette Viper, a 1964 model.
Yeah, tell us a little bit about Viper. I reckon it's an underrated model, whereas I don't think it really is.
I agree. The Viper was perhaps much more practical than the Truxton. I used to take it shopping. I had a set of Craven panniers on it.
Yeah. No, good name in motorcycling, Craven.
Yeah, the only thing with the Viper, on a long hill, you had to keep the revs up.
Yeah.
You had to thrash them a bit.
Yeah.
But they were a lovely thing to ride.
Yours was the 350, it wasn't upgraded or anything?
Well, it had a City Willis piston in it, so it was a little bit more than 350.
But not up to a 500 Venom?
No, probably something like probably 365 or something.
Yeah, and you didn't change the valves in it?
No, it was dead stop. I kept it as near to original as possible, including 1974 rear vision mirrors I found in a little bike shop out the west of New South Wales.
Yeah.
I looked at the mirrors and I said, they look about right. And I found in a 1970s English motorcycle book, Stadium released those mirrors at the motor show that year, so
Yeah.
it was completely in character.
Yeah, Stadium had some good gear, didn't they? When Australians converted across to wearing helmets, Stadium was one of the main ones that are ready to go on the Australian market.
So, yeah,
Long before the Japanese and Chinese helmets came in.
they made a lot of motorcycle accessories, like handlebar levers and all sorts of things.
Goggles and all types of things. Because okay, so the Viper eventually it was sold, was it? Or?
Yeah, I sold that to Tony Keane.
And
He sold it on the summer up in northern New South Wales.
then what other Velocettes? You've had any others? Or
No, I've ridden other ones, but that's all I've owned.
So what keeps you coming back to these rallies? Is it the bikes or the friendship or a combination or what?
It's a combination, but it probably tops as the people you meet. And even though my memory's getting bad now on 5-minute things, you meet the same people and you meet new people, and we've all got common interest, and we all.
It's camaraderie.
It's camaraderie, yes.
And you're making plans to go to South Australia next year?
I'll be at South Australia next week, God willing.
And well, we'll see if we might catch up with him in South Australia. Thank you very much for talking on the Occasional Motorcycle series. Hit the like buttons. More importantly, give us a thumb up and share this with other people. Thank you.
Thank you. Well, it's been a pleasure.